Congress has officially approved one of the most sweeping immigration reforms in modern U.S. history. This bill, passed with rare bipartisan support, is being described by lawmakers as a once-in-a-generation change to the nation's immigration framework. For years, immigration has been one of the most divisive issues in Washington. But today, in a remarkable turn, both parties came together to pass a reform package that redefines how the federal government classifies, screens, and enforces immigration law. The bill is being praised for its modernization goals, but also drawing concern for its expanded enforcement reach. At the heart of this legislation lies a complete reclassification of all non-citizens in the U.S. For the first time, temporary visa holders, permanent residents, and long-term green card holders are placed under a single federal enforcement category. In plain terms, this means that distinctions that once offered legal protection or stability may no longer guarantee safety from immigration action. Green card holders, who traditionally viewed their status as a secure step toward citizenship, will now face new scrutiny and potential removal for a wider range of public safety violations. One of the most talked about provisions centers on driving under the influence offenses. Under the new federal standard, even a single DUI, including one treated as a misdemeanor under state law, could now serve as grounds for deportation. Supporters argue that this ensures accountability and aligns immigration law with public safety expectations. Critics, however, warn that the rule could punish people disproportionately, especially those who have lived in the U.S. for years, raised families, and contributed to their communities. The law also introduces a new measure that allows deportation proceedings to begin even without a formal conviction, meaning that an admission of certain conduct could be enough to trigger action. Advocates worry this could lead to inconsistent enforcement and discourage individuals from reporting incidents or cooperating with law enforcement out of fear of immigration consequences. Beyond enforcement, the reform redefines what the government calls good moral character, a long-standing requirement for citizenship. Under the new rule, anyone with a DUI conviction is automatically disqualified from naturalization. Lawyers say this codifies a policy that had existed inconsistently across states, but now makes it federal law. Another major change is the expansion of grounds for inadmissibility. Anyone applying for entry, renewal, or adjustment of status who has a past DUI conviction or admits to such conduct could be denied. And because federal law now overrides state definitions, even a misdemeanor in one state could still be treated as a deportable offense nationally. These changes are part of what the Trump administration calls a public safety accountability reform. Officials describe it as protecting communities while streamlining the immigration process for compliant applicants. Alongside the stricter rules, Congress has included funding for modernization, digital case management, faster processing for employment visas, and better online filing systems. These improvements aim to cut back the long waiting times that have frustrated millions of applicants and employers alike. Still, advocacy groups say the enforcement parts overshadow the administrative upgrades. They're calling for federal agencies to use discretion and ensure that isolated mistakes don't destroy families who have lived responsibly in the U.S. for years. Immigration lawyers across the country are already advising clients to review their records before filing renewals or citizenship applications, as the law may apply retroactively. The Department of Homeland Security and U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services are expected to release further guidance soon. Until then, many immigrants remain uncertain about how past actions could be viewed under the new rules. Green card holders are delaying travel plans, students and workers are taking extra precautions, and community organizations are seeing a surge in legal consultations and requests for clarity. Experts say the coming months will define how this law reshapes America's immigration system. Its enforcement boundaries, and how strictly agencies interpret admissions of conduct will determine the real-world impact. Some see this as a long-overdue step toward accountability, others see it as a warning that lawful residents now live under tighter conditions than ever before. For now, immigration attorneys urge awareness and legal transparency when submitting any paperwork under the new law. In this new environment, understanding every clause matters. Full citizenship remains the only status that guarantees lasting protection under the new federal structure. That's all for this update on the 2025 U.S. Immigration Reform Bill. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this report to stay informed as new details emerge from Washington.